Everyone is doing well. We're just going to send it off. Yeah, so if you're in the chat, say hello. Let us know what hobby you've been working on. Alright, so hope everyone's doing well, and so let's see what we're doing next. I think we're chucking down some Xandri dust onto their tails and getting the tails of these couple of dudes that we haven't done. So I'm going to work on these two dudes predominantly now, just getting the main sort of Konothi done, and then we'll work on Scathe next. And so just got to bring back their tails to Xandri dust. When I can find the right color, because they all look the same to me. Hope everyone's doing well. It's my little boy's birthday tomorrow, so get some painting in before that. Busy day of spoiling the King in the Woods. Those who don't know, my little boy's name is Orion, so it feels a bit fitting to be painting these models tonight. No, not Ryan, Orion. Like, literally, the Wood Elf character Orion is my little boy's name. Morning, Soren. Nice to see you there. And, of course, nice to see you, based in Bile. Yeah, he is literally called, like, he's literally got the same name. Which, funnily enough, is not from Warhammer. Like, he actually isn't named after anything Warhammer. The wife actually picked the name. I was working at a Greek restaurant at the time, and it sort of came up while we were looking through names of that. And so, yeah, that's how we got his name. How goes everyone's hobby? When I hop off after tonight, I should have my I am a Wargamer video up, which is pretty cool. I've got tagged that thanks to AOS Coach. So I've got to put out my own video for that. Pull up my wrong thing, pull up my paint scheme. And now we'll pick out the level with Xandri dust as well, because that's going to be all Xandri dust as well. So we'll go through that as well. So yeah, I don't really think there's much else I need to pick out on this dude. It seems to mostly... Last one, I didn't hit a bunch of leather with other colour, with the green one. The legs, so That's all well and good. So yeah, this guy did a bit more damage to the Xandri Dust base coat. So what is everyone working on, or what have you been working on this past couple of days? So that. So while we just wait for the base coat to dry, we're just going to go do the final highlights. Oh dear. Well. Stuff happens, man. We all learn things from modeling. Oh, nice. That is a nice raging moose. Nice. I am tossing up on Deepkin. I've got something else is calling to me. The Deepkin, I'm very, very high on getting them done, but I've also potentially want to do the Lumineth. But I know I'll do the Lumineth later. That's the thing. Like the Deepkin, I've never really had the urge to pull the plug on them. So, like to pull the pin and do the project. So I really think I'm going to stick with the Deepkin because I know I'll do Lumineth without sort of this motivation for them, if that makes sense. No, I don't need the motivation for Lumineth. String green over there for some reason. So now we're just going to pick out the highlights again because we put that glaze on. So now we're just going to do a little fine highlight on all these parts that we glazed over. No, yeah, I don't think I need the motivation to do Lumineth. So yeah, it'll be cool to do. I'm really looking forward to seeing like everyone's armies like. Really looking forward to painting up my Adna. Got the, I guess, models behind me that I'm going to use as well. I've got to get done for Halloween. I've got my Death Army that I want to paint by Halloween. So I've got 1,500 points of Ossiarch Bone Reapers that I want to get done. So Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone start to finish in this logo, man. And like, there's some really cool different armies being put in. Like, a lot of people are doing very different things. You know, there's a few people doing the same thing, but I think in the end we'll have some very different and unique armies. Oh, nice. I have a ton of Warhammer Fantasy Battle Wood Elves. In fact, I've got a dude right behind me. I've got my old Nomad Prince. I mean, he's still AOS model, but got my Nomad Prince. I've got a ton of Glade Guard up there with him as well. I managed to make a new base for him. I also got Orion all done up. He just needs a new base. Yeah, I'm a massive Wood Elf fan. I've got a ton of them. That is just one of the GW scenic bases, the ones they actually provide. They have a box set that gives you all the bases. Yeah, I think if we're going to get Wanderers, it's going to be these guys. This is what you're getting. If we're going to get more Wanderers, we're not going to get Wanderers, we're going to get Konothi. Which I'm fine with. I really like these models. I think the whole good guy Beastman is really cool. It's interesting because so often we see chaos corrupted, like chaos versions of good things. It's nice to see an order version of a chaos thing for once. I think it's a bit different. Oh, so that's that done. Yeah, I don't think we'll see generic Wanderers, but I think we could see some more Konothi, which is cool. It could help expand that Sylvaneth range out. I think if we keep Konothi and Sylvaneth together, I'm like, while I wanted a full Konothi army, as long as I can play full Konothi, I'm fine with it, even if they are part of like the. Oh, nice Paladins. I've got Stormcast painted up behind me as well. These are my Sequitors that I did up at the start of the year. What was 1,000 points is now well below that, thanks to all the point drops. Alright, so now we need Thonian Camo Shade. There's not many things I don't have. I have most things in this room. I just don't know with cities. I really hope they expand on cities. I think they were taken aback a bit by how popular it was. Oh, nice. Um, that sounds like a wicked Stormcast scheme, man. You might have noticed my Stormcast are literally painted up like Ultramarines, and that is literally the intention. What was at the start a piss take actually ended up being a really cool color scheme, and I've stuck with it and sort of melded it over time by adding the green into it. Where'd my flash shade go? No, right here. No, that is intentionally the idea, Raging Moose. There is nothing rude about it. Literally, that was the idea of like, okay, which really cool too. Guy I know in the tournament scene as well has his entire Stormcast army painted up in Space Wolf colors, which is another really cool thing. Stormcast look good in Space Marine colors. There's no denying it. I think some people get a bit too precious about the whole Sigmarine thing. I really don't care. Like, people want to make fun of it, go ahead. I don't care. Like, it's a game at the end of the day. And you having a bit of fun making some jesty jokes like Sigmarines, I really don't care. Some people get really antsy about it though. It's one of those things. I think it's necessarily it's just a hangover from when people used to crap on AOS. It's funny, the same people that used to crap on it generally now play it. Hey, Hyper Sapien, nice to see you there, mate. Exactly, man. Paint them however you want to paint them. Yeah, I have a few spare that I want to paint up in different schemes just because I love that model that much. He is my favorite Warhammer Fantasy character of all time. Absolutely love Wood Elves. I have that one sitting somewhere as well. There's not a Wood Elf model that's out that I don't own. Well, that has existed that I don't own. They are The models I collect. Let's put it that way. I collect Wood Elves. I don't play games with them. I collect them. I'm trying to build up an old Warhammer Fantasy Force as well, using a lot of the older models. So I've got that to do as well. So let's have a crack and see what we can start painting up next. These guys. Start picking out all that gold. I guess any suggestions for trying to put an AOS army together? So, well, I guess what army are you trying to put together is the first question. Like that is the question you need to ask yourself. What are you trying to put together? Okay. Picking the army is the first step. And you should always pick something with models over rules. Don't worry about rules. Pick something purely on aesthetic. If you like the look of it, you're generally going to like the rest of it. So what else? I think you can use most of the models in Age of Sigma as counts as models in Cities of Sigma. Like, I mean, Way Watchers are just cool looking Shadow Warriors to me. Warhawk Riders, they're a little bit more tricky. Could certainly use them as like Idneth Eels. And your characters, I mean, you got the Anvil of Apotheosis for that sort of stuff as well. So that's all pretty cool. Yeah, I think a lot of it you can just use as counts as. I mean, Living City plays exactly how you would wonder. I think that battalion is actually really underrated. The Living City one. I've got that army ready to get painted and get on the table, so I can sort of show it being used. Sure. Like Treekin, they don't really have much of a role. Like, there's not really much you can use them as in the Cities of Sigma army. But yeah, I don't think there's much else you need bar Cities of Sigmar, honestly. Cities of Sigmar is a fantastic battle tome that really lends itself well to being used as a lot of like counts as stuff within the book. Alright. Now we're just going to continue working on this one guy now. Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, you got female ones there, so they instantly could be cool sorceress models. I mean, and the battle mage itself has so many different spells. You can just use them all as battle mages and give them different spells. I think the only wizards one I can't really represent well, are obviously, non 25mm base heroes. So yeah, at the moment, just continue to work on this one dude now. Oh yeah, and if you're watching, please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All of those help a ton and mean a lot. Also, Raging Moose, I'm pretty sure I know who you are. I just don't like saying people's actual names online unless I know them properly. But yeah, Raging Moose, I'm pretty sure I know who you are. If you are who you are and you don't want your name, shoot me a message just so I know who I'm talking to. So at least I know this conversation has gone to the person I think it's going to. I'm always up for continuing a conversation like this off of YouTube as well. No. You are someone else. There is literally someone like You are not who I thought you were. See, and that's why. We've just had someone in our local slow grow literally asked me all the same questions. So, is what it is, mate. You are an Australian, though, so I am an Australian as well. But we are in very different parts of the country. So, mate, you're making me want to go paint some wood elves, some more wood elves. Yeah, man, I love my tree huggers. Like I said, I've got a ton of them. I'm actually converting up some Glade Riders for my Cities of Sigmar now with some Pistoliers bits and making some Wanderer themed Pistoliers for an army. So just double check some colors that I'm doing. Spring Skull. Bam. You're still part of my big Australian community that I love to be a part of, so I'm glad you're a part of it, mate. Some really great peeps around the place in Australia. Just gonna pick out some skin in between. More anger dust as well. Get the screw here. I'm in SA, mate. I'm from SA. Ogres are awesome, man. I love playing ogres. Like, they're a great first army. I don't like. It doesn't matter what ogre list either. It could be like the tough as nails, like 5 monster trucks list, or a bunch of ogres on the table. Like, ogres are just fun because they want to play a game. They want to run forward and beat stuff up, and like an army that wants to do what AOS is supposed to do is always fun to play against. really, really do enjoy playing ogres. They're great. I have my own ogre army as well. Where is he? My big bad boy. That's my Frost Lord on Thunder Tusk that I painted up. So he's my big bad boy. I've got a couple more Thunder Tusks to paint up. I know Stonehorns are by far better, but I absolutely love the Thunder Tusk model. I think they're so cool. So I've got another 3 of those to paint up. Yeah, Fire Slayers are just busted. there's no other way. Like Hearthguard blocks are just so damn good. Like people complaining about Seraphon and OBR and all this, and it's like Fire Slayers. No, nothing is worse than Fire Slayers. So the Stonehorns are generally like the working beast, and Thunder Tusks are like some more, I guess, mysterious beasts. They're a lot more like calmer, and they're sort of like these big walking behemoths, while the Stonehorns are actually like big, aggressive bull beasts. So, like a Thunder Tusk is what a priest generally rides on, while like a Stonehorn is something you'd find like warriors riding on. Alright. Check my wash on the skin, which I'm pretty sure we're using green wash for if I remember my colours properly. Yeah, big time. Alright, so now we're just going to wash his skin with a bit of Biltown green. Making sure not to overdo it with the green. Just want it to sort of give him this nice undertone. We forgot to do his hand over here. Whoops. I'll be doing the Daughters of Cain warband next. Will most certainly be the next one I do. That way I can play with the wife, and she'll play with them. But after these guys, I'll be working on getting my Cities of Sigmar Warcry warband finished up, and then we'll be getting the Ossiarch Bone Reapers done, and then I've also got my Iron Nith that need to get done next month as well. Pardon me. That burp just slipped out of nowhere. That's how you know you're getting old, when gas expels from your body and you can't control it. It's how you know you're getting old. Warcry is fantastic. I would argue that Warcry is my favorite game produced by Games Workshop at the moment. Yeah, and like Warcry is fantastic. So what I'll be doing is I've got my Cities of Sigmar one ready. We're going to do some narrative stories from that. So I'll be writing up a ton of background on them. So you'll meet all the characters before the game, like before a campaign. And I'll be going through all the characters, giving them all a cool backstory, and sort of driving the warband forward of why they're in where they are. So really going all out on the narrative. So yeah, you get like a video to start the campaign will be like, this is blah blah blah's warband, and you win. So what have I got in my warband? I've got a great sword. He will be leading it. So I've got the great sword champion. These are coming out of the latest White Dwarf. So I've got the great sword champion. I've got then a free guild guard, one of each variation. So one with sword and shield, one with halberd, one with spear. But I've also got a second one with spear. However, I'll be using a dread spear model to represent that one. I've then got two dwarf ironbreakers. I've got a handgunner, but I'll be using an old dwarf thunderer to represent that. I've got a crossbowman, and then I've got a wildwood ranger and a blackguard. And so that'll be my warband. It's paint really good shape. It's a really nice color storm patch to it, but sometimes when you don't use colors for a while, they just sort of split a little bit. Yeah, can't wait to get painting them up. I'll do some nice bases up for them, and just yeah, I think like the cities of Sigma are so massively important, like to the aesthetic, because it's like, what are we fighting to achieve? Like, and we're trying to get cities. Like, it, it's yeah, cities of Sigma is without a doubt one of the most important things in Age of Sigma. Um, really enjoy a lot of the books that like go really deep into them, like City of Secrets and stuff like that. Really cool. Yeah. Coffee. Well, I've just started doing Black Library reviews on the channel. I did a whole video on where to start with AOS lore. I won't go into it fully, but pretty much my 4 suggestions. There's sort of 4 points you can pick up on. If you like the grimy life and like getting more into the detail, I would strongly suggest probably 2 more than any. Would be City of Secrets or what's it called? The 8 Lamentations, Spirit Shadows. Those 2 books, if you like the more gritty stuff, are probably better. Warstorm's another good entry point, though that's very, I guess, bolter porn, where it is just fight scenes a lot of the time, but it is the most early sort of knowledge and shows you how we get to where we are. So it does, like, it gives some things to it. And then the other one is just picking up one of the cheap Sacrosanct and other stories, or Hammerhall and other stories books. They would be my suggestions for getting into Age of Sigma like books for Black Library. I'm gonna go through like all the reasons of why, like what each one does properly in that little video that I put out. But I put up the first Black Library review for Plague Garden as well today. Which is cool. So yeah, definitely if you're looking to get into Black Library, I should be doing a lot more stuff because I read a ton of Black Library stuff, and it just didn't seem like something a lot of people were talking about. So figured, well, why not? I read a lot of it. Starting to get somewhere, getting a lot of our last couple of base colors down. Hey, Grizzly Bits. Nice to see you there. Yeah, Peter at Dragon's Lair is awesome. So what I'm going to be doing there is well, not necessarily there, but throughout the state, I'm running a Age of Sigmar slow grow campaign. And I'll be doing some like learn to play days, and eventually we'll organize all that properly. But yeah, we're running an Age of Sigmar slow grow campaign, and pretty much the easiest way to enter into that is grab a start collecting box and come along and join in the fun. If you want to be a little bit more of a part of it and join the community that we're chatting there, definitely shoot the Sinful Gaming page a message on Facebook, and I can get you added into a group where we've got a nice little chat going for talking all about that. So if you do that, I can get chatting to you more and tell you a lot more about it. But if you have any questions about it now, shoot them away. More than happy to answer, mate. What do I want? That's a gold. Here. Yeah, definitely. If you're looking to get into Age of Sigmar, there's never been a better time. Everything's pretty cool at the moment. The game's about to go through some massive narrative changes, and the game evolves along with the narrative. Nice. I really need to do a video on that because there actually is like denotations on how they mark their Stormcast throughout the different chambers. Very much like Space Marines, it's got its own markings and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's, I guess, the idea behind the slow grow is that we can amass armies and get into a little bit cheaper. I know Peter's doing some discount at Dragon's Lair, so the buy-in is probably going to be about just over $100 for a start collecting box. That's what you're looking at. But that is probably the most expensive thing you're going to buy throughout the whole slow grow, at least for a bit until the last month. When we buy, everyone buys like the big models. So effectively what it is it starts off with a start collecting box or 2 boxes and a hero, and every month we add another box to it. And we work together, paint, we get part of the community. And if, like, I guess money is a tight issue for you, you can start smaller. There's nothing wrong with that. Join the community. I'm more than happy to have people starting smaller and starting within their own price range so that they can partake and be a part of the community. Because I understand it's like I don't think it's definitely gotten any more expensive than what it used to be. It probably sounds more expensive now, mainly because it's inflation and all that sort of stuff. However, like I still buy, like I find it's generally takes as much out of me. Just going to Magic. Yeah, card games are definitely a thing. And yeah, as Raging Moose says there, Warcry is a fantastic game. Very much AOS kill team. So if you're looking to get into a small scale game, picking up a box of any one of the Warcry warbands, or even something cheap, you can pick up like a Bone Splitters box as well, is another great one. Or even something like I'm painting now for Warhammer Underworlds is another great game. Warcry, I think Kill Team's core mechanics are better than Warcry's. However, I think Warcry has a lot more to offer in. Sorry, I think Kill Team's building of the warband, customization, all that is really great. I do think Warcry's in-game mechanics are really flowy. The ability system is fun, and it's really fast-paced. I think it has the right amount of depth without getting too nitty gritty. Like, say, Necromunda can get quite in depth and in detail. And while that's really cool, it is a very particular person who likes playing Necromunda. I think Age of Sigmar is fantastic. I think at the moment we've got about 25 people signed up for the Slow Grow campaign. Like it's doing really great. Age of Sigmar has been doing fantastic over the past few years. We went to CanCon. Australia now holds the largest Warhammer Age of Sigmar event in the world at 240 people. That was held this year in Canberra at CanCon. Was bigger than any other event at CanCon this year. So you can widely say that Age of Sigmar is probably the biggest war game in Australia by some margin. But yeah, definitely shoot me a message on the Sinful Gaming page. And I'd be happy to help chat, and even if I pop into store sometime, have a chat properly in person, and help you get into the game. Warcry is a great one. Like my issue too with Kill Team is it seems like it's gone out of production from Games Workshop. That is my biggest worry of anyone purchasing anything Kill Team. It does seem like it hasn't been supported for a while. And Raging Moose, definitely, mate. I am so there, and I will see you there next year, so long as like COVID allows it to go ahead. I mean, well, actually, technically, it's not happening next year. There's no if and or buts. Next year, it's not happening. CanCon Festival got cancelled this next year. Yeah, like nothing official has been said about Kill Team. It's just not received updates. It just seems to have been forgotten, which to me says it might be going the way of the dodo, or they're going to update it and restart the whole thing anew. At which point I still wouldn't get into it at that point because the books you buy might not have that much use. So I would give the side of caution with purchasing anything Kill Team. Like, yeah, just be cautious. Like, see how the next couple of months go on Kill Team, and then I would say whether you should buy in or not. That's just, yeah, that's my thing with that. I would just be wary of how your purchases would go with Kill Team. I mean, it's not like it loses anything. You'll always be able to play it, but yeah, that's a cool thing about Warcry. It's like Warcry can also expand upon being a good starting point, but it also has specific models made for it, which Kill Team does not. Everyone says they won't want to do huge armies, and then you just keep buying models. No, kidding. But Age of Sigmar generally, both games generally, 40k and AOS now, are much smaller scale than it used to be. Like Age of Sigmar, you can play with 50 models now, where that used to be a unit size in Warhammer Fantasy days. So you can definitely play with much smaller armies, and some armies even less than that. You can buy full Warhammer armies that completely. Yeah, so. If you like your card games, though, like Underworlds is another great game. Like you say, you're getting into Magic, like a card game. Underworlds is like a model cross card game of which you just need to own a warband to play. Warcry can go for like half an hour. I mean, you wouldn't need to get a friend. The community is that big that you would have people to play all the time. And that's the idea what we're trying to do. And like using Dragon's Lair where it is, trying to build like a little hub, I guess, of players out of Dragon's Lair in Salisbury. But yeah, I'll be doing some learn to play days in the store at some point in the near future to try and help teach people how to play Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Yeah, I'll be helping organize some events. But yeah, definitely come along, check it out, and hopefully we can convince you to come join us, play some Age of Sigmar. Yeah, Underworlds is you literally need. You can spend $150 and be ready to go. That's fair, man. Like I have a wife, but luckily I'm married to a Twitch streamer, so gaming is something easy to pass off to her. Man, I haven't played Magic in years. I used to play it way back in the day. I used to be like really into like card games and stuff, but I think the modeling gives me more hobby besides just playing the game. That's where I ended up being like, I got more out of this. Now, what am I doing? Vegan orange. Yeah. There are ways you can do like things cheaper. Like there's smart ways, and like I said, that is the aim of doing it the way we're doing it is to help people who don't have massive amount of funds to be able to go. I want a 2,000 point army, and bam, here's $1,000, and I've got everything I could ever want in one fell swoop. I think it's important to help every level of hobbyist get into the game. Every person with every level of ability. Oh, I guess back. Oh, cracked the back. And much better. And we can continue hobbying now. No worries, mate. Happy to help. I'll catch you soon. And yeah, shoot me a message and be glad to help. The rain's really starting to come down outside. Really starting to lash down out there. So now we're just hitting up that layering on the skin. Yeah. Oh, shit. That almost ended badly. I'm so glad that was a paint and not a wash. That was almost terrible. Um, so yeah, like I was saying before, talking about CanCon tournaments, when they can finally happen again, man, I cannot wait just to get going to some. I mean, I ran Sinful District GT down here in South Australia just before literally second wave of lockdowns all happened. So yeah, so So, what Black Library books should I hit up next for doing reviews for? What sort of stories would you like me to see do reviews for? Anything that you've seen that tickled your fancy? I've got to get that new Luminous book and give that a read to get a review out there of that. I've got a few others that I've already read that I've got to actually put up the reviews for. No worries, man. Have a good one. I'll be heading off and probably not too long. Just get a bit more work done on this guy before I knock off. And then I should be putting up my I Am a Wargamer video after that. No worries. Well, everyone seems to be hanging out, so I might use this one to end here then. So I will catch everyone real soon. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well. Don't forget to like the video for me. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. I'll catch you all again real soon. Ciao for now.